gave you a quarter to begin with. And so we're going to play this and see what happens. Ready? Ready? Ready. Oh. Oh my gosh. This gives you the spirit of what we're about to see. I love this so much. Hello and welcome to Hello, I Am Clutch, where I'm here today just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico to go to the Tinkertown Museum. Now, you might be asking, what is the Tinkertown Museum? Well, to answer that question, it's a lot. It is many things. It is everything. And I am so excited to take you along with me because this is my first time ever coming here. So apparently this was a hobby started by a man named Ross Ward, who then had his hobby basically grow to be everything we're going to see today, including animated scenes. Going to see a lot of folk art. Apparently get to push some buttons, put quarters in machines. It's everything a clutch could love. Oh God, I'm so excited. I've never been here before, as I said, so I'm really excited to come take you around with me on the first time exploring Tinkertown. So let's go. And now this is just the parking lot. This is just where you park, and there's already so much eclectic stuff here. That's probably a word I would use a lot: eclectic, or charming, or just quirky, or kooky. So many fun things. This got this amazing like facade here with different signs. There's a lot to read. There's lots of cute things. This is kind of on Route 66, so we have like this big fun sign here. There's so many fun things to see. Now this sign says it was family owned and operated since 1969. I believe the museum itself actually opened in the 80s, but I think maybe people were able to visit beforehand. But something I wanted to point out in the parking lot here is we have this cute little sign here. Welcome to Tinkertown. It says, please park cars like this, nice and in a row, not like this, all crazy. So they're open today, which is perfect because that's exactly when I'm here. But just to kind of show you, they are open on Fridays through Mondays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I don't think they're open really kind of in the winter months. I don't know exactly. I think like November to like maybe March-ish. I might put it on the screen when they're usually open. But anyway, I'm getting way too excited. There's so much out front already that's just so much fun to look at. And here's the amazing just entryway. There's a million bottles on these walls here. There's so much art. This is just an amazing facade. Again, not even inside yet. Just want to let you know it is $6 for adults. It's $3 for kids, and I think 3 and under are free. You want to bring quarters. That's something I forgot to say. You want to bring quarters because there's some machines to put in, but they do give you at least one to get you started. But there is so much, and actually, to help you see, I don't want to cut this shot, so I'm saying actually a lot. Actually, so it tells you what we're really going to see today. So we got animated miniature woodcarved figures. We got Western town antique toys and things. So much stuff. So this gives you kind of an idea of what we're about to see. But again, just want to let you know that there's like apparently 55,000 of these bottles in the walls here. Apparently there's like thousands of little figures that we're going to see. So it's going to be off the charts here. I literally haven't seen any charts. And then here's our entry gate where it says, whoa, paid admission only. I love this. So it's just a little thing you push there, and then immediately there's a bit of a ramp. Anyway, there's so much already to see, so much cool art and things that you can just check out. So this is the first real scene that we have here. This is a wonderful little Hillbilly Band. So this says, welcome music lovers. They gave you a quarter to begin with. And so we're gonna play this and see what happens. Ready? Ready? Ready. Oh. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. This is, oh, this is filling Clutch's heart with joy. I mean, look at them singing, look at the granny coming out. They got so much movement and love. Like this gives you the spirit of what we're about to see. I love this so much. After that spectacular start, that was just the start here. We have this little kind of scene here. It says, follow the old boardwalk. It's the trail to the Tinkertown Museum. So part of what's fun for me is we get to follow some boardwalks to really do all the fun things, and like things in other videos I've put out, there's arrows to guide your path, and I love that kind of stuff. But before you even start walking, there's already so much to see. We got the Ozarks of the Sandias here, and just a whole bunch of like people. It's a lot of whittling man here. We got people that is kind of got some moonshine, got a lot of great stuff in this scene. There's just an unbelievable amount of amazing things already. So going down that first boardwalk, there's just stuff everywhere to look at. There's license plates on the walls, there's license plates on the floor. Who knows what's going to be around every single corner. I mean, I know it's going to be apparently 55,000 bottles inside of the walls. That's just wonderful. But then we got a little kind of, this was a little, Roscoe's shop, where like there is, this is one of those places where there's so much to look at. I feel like you could be looking forever and continually find new things in here. But anyway, let's actually keep going around the corner here and see what we got. I do want to point out this sign that says Tinkertown was begun as a hobby in 1962, again by Ross Ward. It was not intended as a public display until your interest helped build our museum. And I love that. I love that idea that basically this started just as something someone loved to do, because that's basically why I make these videos. Is this something I love to do that I hope becomes something that people care about more in the future. But right now, I'm just having a great time taking you around, showing you some incredible stuff. But then we have one of the first big rooms. So let's check all this out. And so here we have so much to look at. It's just an unbelievable amount of figures and scenes, and there's a lot happening. It's like, I've said this in other videos, it's like basically a real life I Spy. If you look in the back here, there's a little bit of animation in there with the couple dancing in the hall there. And it's just great how much you can see if you keep looking. I apologize in advance for all the zooming in and out. It's going to happen. It's just part of the nature of the beast. But something I want to point out more than anything that I'm excited about is we have buttons to push. So if we push this button, let's see what happens. Oh, it looks like it made that buck and bronco buck just a little bit. Trying to get that a little bit closer there so you can see it better. Look at that bronco. He's out of his mind. He's crazy. How's the guy staying on? This is incredible. As we continue, we're now at what is called the Monarch Hotel, and there is just, again, so much to look at. I mean, I always have enjoyed looking at miniatures and doll houses in a sense, but sometimes it takes a special something to make them stand out for me, and this is definitely doing that. I mean, how many places have an actual fiddler on the roof? And again, if you look really closely at some of the stuff here, like in the barber shop, like the man in the chair seems to be smoking a cigar or something. The man in the bath is taking his bath. He's moving. And I just love that there's a little bit of motion in this. It's not just all static. And while the scenes themselves lend themselves to just a kinetic energy, there's still literally some motion in here. And as we continue along now, we're at the blacksmith. So with the blacksmith is another button. So apparently this is gonna make the blacksmith work. Fire in the forge, old man rockin' band. So buttons down here, scenes in there. Let me get it all situated for you there. And let's see. Let's go and button. Oh, it's slow, but it's doing it. Remember, this is like a 40-year-old adventure, if not older than that for some of the parts, but it's still moving in the back, and I love that I'm making something happen, albeit tiny. And then this is really exciting. There's a steam engine back here. There's a button for that one, for push the button for the steam tractor. So let's get that guy in focus. And then we're gonna push the button for the steam tractor. Look at him steaming. Look at him tractoring. I don't know how steam tractors work. And now we're gonna hold in the button for a wild time at the Lucky Nugget Saloon. Wild time. Oh, it's so wild. That's crazy. It's wild and crazy. And definitely no kids. And then here we have the Wells Fargo Express station, and there's a little bit of animation going on with the ticket guy in the back, and there's a little door happening way over there that keeps opening and closing. That's a little hard to see, but it's there. But I really enjoy that they give you the option to push the buttons to make some things move, but also some things are just moving by itself. It is wonderful. And then over here we got basically a big old trading post. There's so much you can see here now. I do think there's actually an I Spy game, like a scavenger hunt you can do if you wanted to. Because with the camera, it's sometimes hard to really take the time to do that. But that would make sense that this is here, because there is just so much great stuff on display. And it just keeps getting more and more interesting. We got a laundry place, we got a cafe, we got the Wing Nut Company. There's just so much happening. And I did want to point out that actually across from this, while you might not be looking at it as excitingly, there are a few collections of things on the other side. So it's definitely worth it to turn around, because across from it, there's still, looks like there's some old kind of lanterns and things here. There's just some interesting old, like, pharmacy-looking kind of stuff that I think is nifty. And then we have a selection of swords on display here. And there's actually a little explanation of why a sword collection in a woodcarving museum. Well, it's because the sharp blade of death speaks loudly and with finality, while the equally sharp blade of the carving knife speaks softly and pays homage to life. As a man sharpens his knife, let him also sharpen his mind. R.J. Ward. That is amazing. And then back to the main display, we got a toy store, which basically is the dollhouse of toy stores. That's a way to put it. This is wonderful. I do like we have this little girl jumping rope, if you see that there. And they say that Emily here, that's her name, Emily, has been jumping rope for over 50 years. I can't even jump rope for 50 seconds. Back in that toy shop, there is just so much to see. There's a little tiny candy land over there it's hiding. There's lots of just fun little books and characters, but what I like is this sign right here. This is a little hard to read, so let me just read it for you. Maybe you can actually see it. It says, an old town like this would not have had a toy shop of this size. But then I built the town, and I like toy shops. Good job, Ross Ward. Taking matters into your own hands. Literally. And then we have this Perry's Polar Pantry, this ice cream parlor and soda fountain. Now this is really cool. There's a sign down here explaining that this is a recycled building where a lot of the pieces were used from other things. Like it says the bar is an old sewing machine, the fan at the top, if you can see that just up there. The fan at the top is a wooden drawer pole. The Coke dispenser is a threaded spool. It's a lot of fun, interesting things that are just recycled to make all this wonderful, wonderful stuff. Something else fun in this section is another button. What do we got? We got a button. I am a little hungry, so if you want to push this button to order dinner, you definitely can do that. It's probably going to be coming around Lou's Cafe, so let's check it out. Oh. The chef is chasing the bird. That joke is most foul. This display is absolutely huge. I'm still in the same hallway. This is one hallway. There's so much. So now we got a photographer studio. Got another button to push. Let's see, anything happening? Doesn't seem anything happening with that button, but at least if we go over here, we have carpenters, and there's a button to push for the carpenters, and yeah, there they go. They're working hard. They're doing so much. They've been working on the house all the live long day. That's not how it goes. And then it's kind of hard to see in the back there, but luckily I have a camera, but I also have a glare, so it's kind of hard to see. Maybe that angle, a little bit better. It's like a bathhouse, and I think it's, oh, I'm seeing what it is. Now I see what's in the back. It's, don't look. At the end of this hallway, they also have this big old guest book for you to sign to let you know you're here. But they also, in a few places up here, they tell you to sign the book and feed the kitty. And then you look over here, they got this fun sign. They say to sign the guest book, feed the kitty. So I think any donations help keep this place a-going. And then in this final corner of this first hallway, we got the pharmacy here, where there's so much going on. There's doctors, there's medications, there's some creepy devil things pushing a dead person in a wheelchair. There's so much to look at. There's the territorial assay office. There's I could stand in here for a really long time, and I feel like I'd still find new things that I didn't see the first time I looked. After that first main hallway, we have this big case right here with a bunch of fun, looks like wood carvings and some other fun things. There is a sign that says this case and contents was part of Dr. Baker's Museum in Elk City in Oklahoma for over 50 years. I have not heard of that place, so that's something I might have to look into. So we got this big display here called Boot Hill, and someone actually already put some quarters in, so it's already doing some things. So we got like God and the Devil was pulling at the man there. Oh, it stopped. Well, you saw it moving for a second there. But this one cost 2 quarters, but there's just a lot to see here. with like a graveyard and a bunch of kind of religious theme type of stuff, but it's all very interesting, very cool. And then for some reason you also have Alfred Hitchcock just hanging out in here. I just like kind of the macabreness of it. I've always been a little bit a fan of slightly macabre things, like how we have these skeletons over here playing on the tree here. We got this dead cow, and if you can see, it says "Holy cow!" That's amazing. But something else I really like is on the very bottom. They have this sign here that says, "Think kindly of the Undertaker. He's last to let you down." So as really to balance it all out with all the death, we have something more or less about life, where it's a whole bunch of like wedding cake toppers, I believe, or wedding figurines. It's a fun collection here. This reminds me heavily of the House on the Rock, which has just a bunch of collections of collections. A fun fact that I've heard, or fun rumor I've heard, is that apparently Ross Ward was heavily inspired by the House on the Rock to create this place, which explains why I'm having such a good time. Continuing into the next big room, we get kind of this big fun ceiling here. One of these machines, which we actually have seen at the House on the Rock, so that's an interesting one. But there's just a lot of like, big wood carvings here, and there's just a lot to point out. I just noticed this down here. There's a big old rattlesnake. There's, I guess, the end of it, and then it goes somewhere over that doesn't have a head. It's lost its head anyway. It says the rattlesnake was caught by Rattlesnake Dave of New Mexico. Amazing that he was born with the name Rattlesnake. And then next, it looks like we have a whole kind of like circus room full of circus things and circus stuff. And I'm saying circus a lot. Look at this, is great. They got like a whole kind of a sideshow act type of situation. They got the barker there yelling out stuff. Oh yeah, circus sideshow. It says it right there. And they got the woman walking on the what's the word? Swords. I can't believe I couldn't find the word swords. But there's a lot, and for some reason also in the corner, Mr. Peanut. Okay, we got a couple buttons here. We got one for the sideshow acts and one for the ballyhoo. Let's see, but let's try ballyhoo first. Ballyhoo. Ballyhoo. I did not realize this was called the ballyhoo. But now you know, and I know, this is the ballyhoo. And then let's try the sideshow acts. Sideshow acts. Here you go. I didn't even point this out yet. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. So we got a magician, we got monkey girl, alligator, man, fat lady. So much stuff here. Not too much is moving, but it's still we got some animated figures. Just to show you a little bit more of these sideshows, we got like a sword swallower at the back. You got a fire eater. You got a snake charmer, and then you have here who's the world's smallest human being. And given that they're only about 4 inches tall, that makes a lot of sense. So there is a lot more circus room to show you here, but something I'm just realizing is you need to look up, because there is a lot on the ceiling here. There's some art, there's some figures, there's lots of boots, there's lanterns. Over here, this is quite amazing, this humongous flying circus drum. That is just fantastic. I love this. This is special. Looking closer at that other circus stuff, they got so much great figures in here. I like how they give it kind of energy, like people are actually walking in, and like they're selling some big top popcorn over here, and there's a lot to see in the back. This definitely reminds me a lot of the circus section of the House on the Rock. So that again, it checks out the House on the Rock connections. Okay, now this side is particularly great. This is a humongous big top with a lot happening. There's a lot of motion happening. Now, something I will say back with the House on the Rock and the circus section is it was very static. Nothing was moving. There was no buttons to push. There was no like animated miniatures like this. And so something I'm absolutely loving is that like you got the lady being spun over there, up here at the top. They're spinning right there. If you look far back, you can see other, like there's a dog jumping through a hoop over there. There's some animals on seesaws going up and down. So, yeah, the focus is not doing the best job here. Let's see if we can get it a little better. Yeah, it's a little bit better. But anyway, there is a lot going on here, and I like that there's actual motion with what we're seeing. So this part compared to the one part of the House on the Rock, I would say is a small step above. There's a little display over here that talks about Circus World. Doesn't really talk about it, but there's a few things from Circus World, which is in Baraboo, Wisconsin. That's a place I've been as a kid. I have not been there as an adult for the channel, and I swear that someday, I will make it to the Circus World Museum for y'all. So something I believe I recall reading or hearing about is that Ross Ward, prior to this big hobby, made a lot of signs and things like this for circuses and other events. And so you have this wonderful sign for a 1942 Ellen Herschel merry-go-round. And if you know me, I love a good merry-go-round. So just, again, that combination of just this with the love of all these quirky things, but with also then a little bit of a merry-go-round thing and circus stuff. This is the best overlap diagram I've ever had. And again, gotta look up. I keep forgetting to look up, but there's so much great stuff on the ceiling in this section here, where we got some actual carousel of horses. Got a lot of cool art on the actual walls here. I mean, if I look straight up, I'm looking straight up. It's hard to get the whole thing in there, but there's like, this looks like the top of a carousel here. And it says here, it's hard to see, but it says Wonder Horse. And before we exit this section, there is a little down divot to go see some things. There's a few extra things down here, where we have first, this was, I believe, at the time, yeah, Louis Moilanou. This was, at one point, I believe, the world's tallest man at 8 feet 4 inches, and these are his pants, and these are his shoes. And you can test. Let's see. Let's see. Missed it by that much. There is a couple of fun machines in the corner over here. One called the Mummy's Tomb. This one, unfortunately, is currently out of order, but I think there's like, there'd be a snake charmer, I think a mummy would pop out. Then we have this Career Pilot to help you figure out what your career is. So there's so many options, like school teacher, there's a fish peddler, there's a psychiatrist, that's a noble profession, dishwasher cashier. So I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna do this. Let's see if it tells me what my career should be. Let's give it a go. Ready? Oh god, come on, YouTuber. Definitely not YouTuber. Adagio dancer. What? Going now out into that hallway in the back, we have, let's see, there's some more boardwalks to walk on. It is lovely out here. I'm loving this. So I think, yeah, there's still so much more to see. I think that might be the way we leave. I think we got more this way, because I think we were next going to go to something about the boat exhibit. It's hard to see. It says boat and exhibit in shadow. And here's the boat stuff. So I believe, according to signs, we want to go that way. We want to enter this way. So here's what's interesting about this boat. This boat has circumnavigated the entire world. I haven't seen a sign that says that quite yet, but I know that is the idea of this, is that this boat took a 10-year journey completely around the world. And so I think there's a big map to help show that, and we will let you see that all in just a second. So in and of itself, it's just a boat. It might not seem that exciting, but when you get the context of the fact that it went literally around the entire world, I think that little bit of extra just makes it super, super interesting. Okay, here we go. There's a whole sign here that says how the wooden boat that is docked in the woods. What's the story behind this? So it is, in 1981, Fritz Daimler, he basically decided to get this house boat and then traveled the world. He did it for 10 years. He went at about 4 miles per hour. He saw a lot. So once we get a second over here, there's a humongous map to kind of show you his journey. So I'll give you a little tour of that in just a sec. So here at the back of the boat, you can see a cool kind of view of the boat. I actually think the wheel here is quite cool. I know it's not called a wheel necessarily. Correct me in the comments, please tell me what it's actually called. Anyway, they have a nice little kind of video here that explains it very well in addition to that sign. So if you want to sit here and listen to it for a minute, it'll give you kind of a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on and why the boat is right here. Okay, so let's look a little closer at the voyage of the Theodora R, which lasted from 1981 to 1991. So it began all the way down here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And so then it looks like he went a little bit down through South America, went through the Panama Canal. Apparently his first wife returned home at that point, and then he went down west across the Pacific to New Zealand, to Australia. I've been to those places. There's some fun videos I have from there. Anyway, and then, Oh, it had to. It just. It's not a globe. It's a flat map. Anyway, so here's the other side of Australia. He kept going. There's a fun like little things here to actually read. Like if you see, it says in this journey he went 80,000 sea miles. That's a lot of sea miles. I hope he got some good points for that. Anyway, then he went down around Africa at the bottom here, went up across to South America, then came back up, and then took a hard right and did a lot of squiggly spaghetti Europe-ness. Something I enjoy is that the guy's favorite place here, but then also, where was it? I saw, yeah, right above it, it says that's where he met his second wife. So this was a journey of love lost and then love found again. Anyway, then he came out of Europe eventually and came back up kind of the way he did to end here. And then his final port of call actually was in Pirates Cove, Alabama. And then at some point, I haven't seen the wording on it. I believe this guy was the neighbor of Ross Ward, is why this is even here. But I think the boat eventually got shipped. Shipped is probably carried on a car or some other vehicle. Anyway, the last port was here at the Tinkertown Museum right outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. What a journey. So across from that boat, to actually get to this section, there was kind of this outside little covered bridge area that we went down and now I'm going back. Something small I want to point out. I'm here on a relatively rainy day, and it's not disrupting this at all. There is a little bit of like outside portions, but a lot is covered and inside here. So I just want to say, this is so far a fantastic rainy day activity. At the end of that walkway, there's just this little kind of scene down here. We got Robert's Equine Delight horse feed. This is like an old little mill, and I just love a good water feature, and to give it some theming, chef's kiss. So at the next section here, we got this great door that lets you in, and you can kind of see at the top here, this section is all about doll toys and music, and it says in this room to take your time. So I will do the best I can, but it looks like it's going to be easy because there's a lot of great stuff in here already, I can see. So right away, we got a whole bunch of like dolls and other things, and then across the way, we have a humongous doll house. So while we had all that Tinkertown stuff, that was very cool. Having the dollhouse as well, once again, harkens so much back to the House on the Rock for me, because there's two major sections near the end of the entire experience of dollhouse room and circus room, and that's what we're getting a lot of here. And I'm having a great time with this. Oh my goosness, here we go. This is a clutch thing like I've never seen, or maybe I've actually seen. That's how I know it's a clutch thing. So as I hear Otto play, it's an automatic one-man band. There are, again, can't stop making the House on the Rock connections because of maybe the actual one that's there. So there's so many automated instruments, and here we got one as well. So definitely gonna do this. So we're gonna hear Otto play for a quarter, and let's hear Otto go. There you go. Oh my gosh. I hear, there it goes. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh. As I say whenever I have videos like this, what I love about this is it's not like a jukebox, it's not just a record, it's actual music being played live for you. And you can see at the bottom here how they got that paper where it's basically a giant music box with how it works. And I can't believe how many videos I'm having now that have a music box like this, but I'm happy that it keeps increasing. So look at this, you can see that the actual, like the drums actually get played. Obviously the accordion goes in and out for real. That's how an accordion works. It says whap, whap, whap. And then we got some more stuff over here. And then up at the top, it looks like the xylophone. Is it gonna, there you go. Yeah, xylophone. And we got a triangle up there, like, there's a lot of great little stuff hidden in this. This is wonderful. After that wonderful show, we're gonna continue our way. There's some ramps up here. There's just lots of little nooks and crannies to look at. Like there's a little budding collection here that I kind of like. And then if you come around here, there's some more dolls. There's this amazing steamship or a paddle boat. It's a paddle boat in the back. It glares kind of hard, but there you go. A wonderful paddle boat model. And then just looking, we got some more, we got another Mr. Peanut. I did not expect to see more than one Mr. Peanut today, but here we are. But also just lots of other fun things to look at. There's just, I swear, the more you keep looking, the more interesting things you'll find. Like, for example, there's a big boy hiding in the back over there. Or if you look way over here, I think that's supposed to be the Wicked Witch of the West. Something I have been pointing out a lot is there are a lot of little signs to read, but or sometimes big signs to read, but a lot of them just have like fun sayings or something that feels meaningful. But like this one says like how to really be alive, and it's a lot of these seem to kind of push the idea of like live your best self, and I really like that this place definitely encapsulates the idea of living your best self and doing what you love. And I think that's something that I try to exude in my videos in the way... Let me talk to you. Hi. So that's something that I definitely try to do in my videos, is try to basically live my best self. Do all the fun things I want to do and try not to wait for them. And I want that for you as well. So just want to say to Tinkertown and to you, the idea of doing what you want within reason, of course, that makes you happy. Definitely pursue it when you can, as soon as you can, because that's what this is, and I'm glad you're here with me to have this kind of fun. Like immediately, this encapsulates exactly what I was just talking about. This says the greatest mistake we make is to neglect what is possible while brooding over what is difficult. And that encapsulates my channel to a T, because starting a YouTube channel felt like it would be a big, difficult task, and instead of brooding over it, I just started doing it probably a little before I was ready, but now that I'm over a year into it, I'm having a non-stop wonderful time. As we continue a little more, there's just so many license plates on the walls. I've said it in a few videos before, but I just love old license plates. I love when people display them. I like seeing them like this, all like in this wonderful just kind of display. And I love that I have this experience, that like I have some consistency between places I go, where this is not the first, it's not the second. I'm not even sure which number it is, but I keep going so many places with license plates just strewn everywhere. But I will say this is the first one where it's also on the ground and just kind of used as part of the decoration of apparently keeping the place together. That's fantastic. Fort Cody, Nebraska. I've been to Fort Cody, Nebraska. And we have arrived at the Fort Cody trading post. And at the end of that little hallway, it does say to Luke. So we're going to Luke. What do we got here? So this is Ross Ward's painting studio. I'm going to stay to the side here because it's a little rainy still. It's one part that is not fully covered. So we got Ross Ward's painting studio. Again, obviously quite the artist, carved a lot of things. And so you can see lots of cool stuff here, where I really like this actually right in the middle. This is a magic box, like a magician, a magic trick, where like, you know, you see a person who would slide left and right. It might, you know, the person with hand, they'd like put like the big saw blades in there, and it's very, very classic looking. And I just, so many fun things. At this point, we kind of have two sort of paths to go, left or right. It looks like right is a dead end, so we're gonna go right first just to see here. I think this is cute. So they have something here, kids guest book. We had the adult one, I guess, earlier, or anyone, where you can leave a message in a bottle. So how does that work? I can see that it says to put it in the bottles here. I see they have little things to message, that like write down. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So there it is. If you write your message down, you can put it in any of these bottles. I think that is absolutely adorable. I love little touches like that. That is absolutely amazing. And then over here in the corner, we have something called Mr. Tinkerbot. And it's just, I have no context for Mr. Tinkerbot, or Mr. T-Bot for short. Yes, please call me Mr. Bot. Tinkerbot was my father. Going back to that idea of fun license plates, apparently we got a bunch of mini license plates. This is a small collection of them that were apparently in Wheaties breakfast cereals in 1953 and 1954. I would have literally eaten that up. And going back to that other hallway we saw just a second ago, where it continues, I think we just have some blacksmith collections of tools of different, let's see, these are shoe lasts, old-time shoe repair items. That's nifty. And just kind of some really old-looking tools. So we got like a sharpening stone for clipper blades. We got a foot-powered grindstone from 1906. On this side, we have drugstore, beauty parlor, bar, and restaurant bottles. Woo, that's a mouthful. So yeah, these look really old, very dusty, but there's just so much great stuff on the walls to look at. It's I say this in plenty of videos, and I say this in plenty of videos all the time. It reminds me heavily of the Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska, the Harold Warp one. The overlap here. That's why I'm mentioning so many other videos, because the overlap here is just unbelievable. And then at the end of that hallway, we have another kind of flappy door, but if we look through this window, that's where we started. That was the Tinkertown that we saw at the start. We're back. We're back. I don't know if it's over yet. Again, this is my first time here, so I'll meet you on the other side over here because it's raining a little bit still, and I don't want to get too wet while I'm filming, so see you in just a moment. And now that it's been just a moment, I finally made it across that rain torrential downpour. It was nothing, it was barely drizzling. Anyway, there's one little other room in here, I guess, that you see now. Let's see what we got. We have, oh, here we go, Grandmother Esmerelda. She will reveal my fate. Well, I really would like to know, so a quarter you shall receive. Oh, Esmerelda, what's going on? I love that she has a name tag that says Tinkertown Museum, Sandia Park. She's silent. She's very focused, it seems. Okay. What's going on? And oh, but do we still get a fortune? I think we do. Do we? Oh yeah. So yeah, even for a quarter, you still get a nice little fortune there. Let's see. Oh, that's awesome. So there is a fortune on the back. It also says Tinkertown Museum with all the fun things there. So even no matter what, if you just want this card for a quarter, that's a great deal. So there is actually some explanation to Grandmother Esmerelda. It's kind of hard to see because it's just against the wall here, but apparently she was made in New York and for years was at the Riverview Park in Chicago. That is really cool. If you know the history of Riverview Park in Chicago, that was an old amusement park that I believe was in the city limits, and that has a fascinating history. So the fact that this came from there is blowing my mind. So of course we exit through the gift shop and it is eclectic as eclectic can be. There is so much amazing stuff in here to look at. Obviously plenty of stuff to buy. I'm not going to show this whole place. There's a lot of like tchotchkes and such, but they do got some great postcards over here that are only 50 cents each, and then they got some really good magnets that apparently are only $3 each. So that's amazing. So crazily enough, after the exiting through the gift shop, you still exit and there's still more stuff outside. I guess I could have done this at the beginning. I didn't see it at first. I got too excited to go inside. So let me just give you a quick tour around whatever we got here. So the rain is picking up, so this is gonna be a little bit of maybe a quicker thing. No, we get out, we get under a little bit. Anyway, so once there's this, looks like some displays here, looks like a little mine. Like I gotta capture it all, I got some fun selfie chances. A lot of good selfie chance. But then we walk up this little bridge here. Okay, and now we're under the awning, so we're a little bit more okay. We got something that says Schneck was here. I'm assuming it's not Schneck because we're here, so that shouldn't be Schneck. We got this great big wagon. I love this with like with the mannequin in there. And let's see, what is this? This old truck wagon will no more roam the dusty trail. I thought I was going to say something about what it was. It was just having a fun little words. Anyway, this is a fun extra little bit that I didn't know I was going to get. So we got, well, again, I'm going to go quick under this because it's raining. So we got the harness shop exhibit and some saddles. So we're going to go quick. Okay. All right. What do we got on there? Is this some harnesses and saddles? This is fun. That's the thing I have actually been seeing that I didn't point out, but they have wall drug stickers everywhere, which is another place I have yet to go to. I'm sure I'll get there eventually, that I do feel like has a lot of the spirit of this place. But I just love this little extra bit. This is awesome. There's so much fun to see. I don't even need to cut this. It's like, we're kind of getting this fun quick tour here. And there's great stuff to look at. It's never ending. Ooh. And yeah, it seems like we got some wood. We might as well go for it. And I think that's most of this extra little section here. But that was still a fun little thing. Thanks for dealing with the rain with me. Oh, and look at that. We got a fun little art car over there. Look at that art car. That's a pretty nifty art car. I had to get a closer look at that art car. There's just so much fun stuff on it. There's pennies all around it. There's lots of stickers for basically Tinkertown Museum and other things around. There is a lot of interesting things in there. But then one other thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to brave the rain for it. Let me just get... Is this stage, this medicine show wagon over here. This is just fantastic. I'm so glad I came over here to show you this little extra stuff because this is really neat. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like this quite in person. I feel like I've seen this like in movies or shows or just in media, but never in person. I love this place. Oh boy, the rain was really starting to come down there. So anyway, that's gonna do it for our time at the Tinkertown Museum. It goes without saying, this place was wonderful. This place was fantastic. For $6 for adults, incredible value. I love this place. This really had such a good overlap of all the things I love between miniatures, animatronics, every little type. It was not so much animatronics, but like animated miniatures and quirky things. So wonderful, this place. And I did actually ask, and Ross Ward did go to House on the Rock and get someone inspired to build this place. So that explains that. Oh my gosh, such a wonderful thing. So thank you so much for coming with me for this first ever adventure here. Now, given how much I talked about House of the Rock, if you want to go see my absolute favorite attraction, you can watch that up there. This is a kind of a playlist of the full version and the separate pieces where you can pick which one you want to go see. But if you want to see some other adventure of mine, that's a great one as well. So many fun things that we do on this channel, so I'm so glad you're with me. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, I'll say goodbye. I am still Clutch.